Hey, this is Jacob from Fundable, and I want to give you a quick tour of our platform. So as you log in, you're going to be taken to our deal dashboard. You can think of this as the front page of a newspaper. What we have here is kind of the biggest deals this week and some summary stats, like which investors were most active in the last 7 days. If we want to click on one of these deals, we can see all the information that Fundable captures. We have key metadata on a company, like their industry, where they're located, their employee count. We also capture a one paragraph description of the most recent funding. So for this specific funding, we actually sourced 15 different articles, which means that we're grabbing information from across the web and centralizing it in one place so you don't have to. We also capture the investors who were involved in the round, as well as some of the key employees from this company. So for example, for their CEO, Andrew, we have their LinkedIn attached, and we also have his email. While the deal dashboard is great, you're going to probably spend most of your time on the companies, investors, and people page. Our companies tab lets you look through our entire database of 90,000 startups and apply different filters or searches so you can narrow in on just the ones that you want to research. So to look at the filters we have, you can look at a company's previous fundraise. What stage was it? How much did they raise? Which investors were involved? And you could also look at other company metadata. So for example, you can specify which industries the company is in, or the location, the employee count. And you can even look up the education of the founder or where the founder worked beforehand. Another thing you can do is, if you already have a predefined list of companies that you are researching, you can upload an Excel file of those companies and their domains, and we'll automatically populate all the additional information on those companies. A great way to do quick research. So for this search, let's specify maybe AI companies based in SF, and they've recently done a Series B, have raised in the last year. This gets us 44 companies. And if we still think this is too many, we want to narrow down the search even more, we can apply an additional layer by using our AI search feature. So you can say companies building AI tools for law firms, lawyers. And what this will do is look through the companies that already matched our search and see if there's any good fits. So we can see here, Eve is a AI native legal tech startup, raised a $103 million Series B, and we can press on Eve if we want to learn more. And this takes us to the company page where we can even look at their complete funding history. So we can see we have 3 funding rounds on file, most recently at a $1 billion valuation. And we have all the data on the team. Going back to the companies page, we also have a couple other cool features you can use here. First of all, we have a bunch of columns that we don't show off the bat, but you can kind of look through to see which ones make sense for you. And also, you can save this search in case you want to revisit it down the road to see if any companies have appeared matching that criteria. So we can do SF, Series B, law companies. And that's just going to appear in our Save Searches tab. Another thing you can do if you want to get the data off the platform is you can just directly export it. So you can either export it to a Excel file, or in this case, let's just do a Google Sheet. And I'll select all these columns. Bam. Now have all that data ready to be analyzed. Another great feature that we have is, from this company list of 37 people, we can take this search and put it right into a people search. So if I just press this button, people view, it's going to take those 37 companies we previously found and find all the people attached to them. So we see 231 matching employees. Let's make sure we have their LinkedIn information. Let's see, that leaves us with 227. And again, what I can do is then export this data if I want to do an outreach campaign. Or you can even filter on the role if that's what you decide to do. Next, we have the Investors tab, where you can search through our data set of 60,000 investors, either on characteristics of that firm, like their city, or characteristics of the companies that they invest in. So if we want to do a search here, we can look at New York City investors who've invested in at least 10 seed stage startups in the last year. Here we've pulled a list of 6 investment firms that have done 10 seed stage deals in the last year. And if we want to look at Point72, for example, we can look at some quick highlights, or we can go to their investor page, where again, we can see their full portfolio. We can apply filters on it. We can also check out the team at Point72. For any investor, person, or company, we can also save them down to a list. So if we want to save Point72, we can just add to this list and it'll get automatically populated. We can navigate to our list tab to see all of the companies that we've stored or investors. And we can even leave some notes like should reach out to. Our favorite feature is deal alerts. What this allows you to do is describe a company or a raise in natural language. And the second the funding round occurs that matches your description, we'll send you an email, a Slack, or a Teams message. So the possibilities are really endless with what you can set alerts around. You can specify which investors were involved in the deal, the round of the company, the industry, or you can even specify the intended use of funds for that company. Let's look at one of these examples. US office growth. We say, hey, let us know the second a company mentions that they want to expand office space in New York, SF, Miami, Austin, LA, etc. And what we'll do is read through every press release that day and see if any company mentioned that they're looking to expand into those markets. This is incredibly powerful and something that you really can't do on any other platform. If we click into the office growth alert, what we'll see is that we'll get a rationale for why every single deal is sent to us. So for LawHive, for example, we say that they explicitly state that they're planning on opening a new office in New York. This is such a clear indicator, if you're a real estate broker, that you should probably reach out to LawHive and see if they need someone to help them find new space. To find out about your alerts the second they occur, we highly recommend configuring a Slack or Teams integration. All you have to do is press connect. This will take you to your admin panel. Press allow. And next thing you know, all these alerts that we have configured are now going to show up in my Slack every single morning, so I can reach out to these leads right as news drops.